Welcome back to the aerodynamics class again, right? So today we will be discussing the second elementary flow, which is source flow, sink flow, and its a combination, right? In the last class, we had a discussion on uniform flow, and we have made some derivation and calculated the stream function, potential function, and then we have looked into the circulation and so on. So now we will discuss about the source flow, right? I acknowledge John D. Anderson's Fundamentals of Aerodynamics, right? This is the text we are following. So this is the source flow, right? Say the source flow. Let us consider a two-dimensional. We have a two-dimensional incompressible flow where all the streamlines are emanating from the central point O, right? So this is the central point O, right? And again, let the velocity along each of the streamlines, right? The velocity along each of the streamlines vary inversely with the distance, right? So this particular flow is called source flow. And if the same, which is in the reverse, say all the streamlines are moving towards the origin O, is termed as sink flow, right? So we will be discussing about the source flow and the sink flow. So here we can say that the stream function psi is equal to constant and also phi is equal to constant, and you can see this Vr is the velocity, right? Here we can say that Vr is the velocity in radial direction, and similarly V theta is the velocity in the tangential direction. So since the streamlines are emanating from the center or from the origin, we don't have a flow in this direction. So we consider the velocity in the tangential direction is 0, right? So the source flow, we can say that the source flow is a physically possible incompressible flow, right? So we can say that it is a possible incompressible flow. And if we say that if it is incompressible flow, we can write del dot V is equal to 0 everywhere except at the origin, right? Everywhere except at the origin. At the origin, that is at point O, right? Because at O, this becomes infinity, right? We will discuss about that. And again, the second point is the source flow is irrotational at every point. At every point, right? So we already know that the source flow is something which is moving away from the origin, and the sink flow is which is everything which is moving towards the origin. And here the velocity in the radial direction is VR and here it is minus VR. Right? Now, so let us consider the source and the sink as a discrete source and discrete sink, right? We can say that the source flow having that del dot V is equal to 0 everywhere except at the origin, and in the origin we can say that it is infinity. So if it is infinity, then we can consider the origin as a singular point, right? So in the mathematics we have a singular point. Right? So actually what happens is like we can interpret this singular point as a discrete source or sink of the given strength, and we will discuss about all these things, right? So we will go much deeper into the source and the sink. So far we say that the source and the sink, source is the origin O and the sink is the streamlines which is moving towards the point O. Now, let us look more closely to the velocity field that is induced by source or sink. Right? So we can consider the radial distance R, right? Here radial distance R, and we consider the length L, which is say if we consider the source or sink, this is perpendicular to the screen, you can consider, right? So we have a volume flow rate for the line source, so we consider in this way, right? And we already know that the del dot V is equal to 0, right? Del dot V is equal to 0, that we already know, right? So in the case where we can write VR and V theta, right? VR, so we can write VR is equal to C by R, and V theta is 0 as we know already. Right? So we have VR and V theta, right? Now let us consider this volume flow rate. So volume flow rate, we start with the volume flow rate and we can go with the further derivation, right? So the same source or thing having a depth of length L, right, which is perpendicular to the screen, we consider, right? So we can say that it is a three-dimensional one, right? Now let us have the area. So this area, we can call this area as ds. So what is this area ds? Say we can say that this is r d theta multiplied by this length L. So r into d theta, which is multiplied by L. Right? So here our point is all the length, we have a line source. It is not a point source, but we have a line source, right? So you can imagine. So from every point you have a source. So it will be like a three-dimensional imagination, right? Now let us discuss about the mass flow rate, right? So we have a cylinder and I want to calculate the total mass, right, across the surface ds of the cylinder. So we know that the source is emanating, right? Now we are trying to calculate the total mass across the area ds of the cylinder, right? So we, in order to calculate the total mass, we also should have a elementary mass. So elementary mass flow, we can write the rho, and Vr is the velocity in the radial direction, and rho AV, right? A is the area. So area we know R d theta into L. So this is the area R d theta into L. Now the total mass, right? We have an elementary mass flow, then the total mass flow rate. So the total mass flow rate we need to calculate for the whole area, and hence we consider the integration 0 to 2 pi, and here Vr into R d theta into L, right? So we can write this as rho R L Vr integral 0 to 2 pi d theta. So we can write this as 2 pi R L rho into Vr, right? So what is rho? Rho is defined as the mass per unit volume, and m dot is mass per second, right? Then the volume flow per second. We need to calculate the volume flow per second. So what is the volume flow per second or volume flow rate? Mass flow rate by rho, and hence we can write 2 pi R L and Vr, right? So this rho will go. So the rate of flow, the rate of volume flow, right? So we will write the rate of volume, the rate of volume flow per unit length, that is per unit length along the cylinder. So we can write the volume by L, right? So this denotes the volume flow rate per unit length, that is equal to 2 pi R Vr. So this volume flow rate per unit length is expressed as the term called lambda, right? And further we can say that Vr is equal to lambda by 2 pi R. So here we have calculated the Vr, right? So we can say, we already know that Vr is equal to C by R. So Vr is equal to C by R, And hence we can write C is equal to lambda by 2 pi, right? So the lambda, right? The lambda which defines the source strength, right? So we will be solving a lot of problems in the later stage where we consider the lambda is a source strength and we can define further, right? So what is it means physically? The rate of volume flow from the source per unit length, right? That is what the source strength is, right? So we have a source strength now. We have VR and V theta. We have all. So now we can calculate as usual. We need to derive the steam function and the potential function, right? So let us start with the potential function, or velocity potential. So velocity potential, right? So what is the equation for velocity potential? You already know. What is U? U that is equal to VR, that is equal to, how we can write it in terms of velocity potential, and the velocity potential in terms of, this is a Cartesian coordinate system and this is a polar coordinate system or cylindrical coordinate system. How can we write this? Anyone? What is U? Do you remember? Dou phi by dou x, normally we write, since it is in the polar coordinate system, we can write dou phi by dou r, right? So dou phi by dou r or VR we already know it is lambda, that is the source strength by 2 pi r. Similarly, we can write 1 by r dou phi by dou theta, that is equal to V theta, that is equal to 0. Right? So let us first integrate the first equation and we can write phi, that is equal to lambda by 2 pi into r. When you integrate, you can write it is ln r plus the function of theta, right? So integrating this equation, you get. Similarly, if you integrate this equation, you will arrive to phi is equal to a constant plus the function of r, right? So we have this equation now. So let us compare these two equations of phi, and we can arrive to phi is equal to lambda by 2 pi into ln r, and I try to leave the constant because the leaving the constant will not have a big effect, right? At least as of now. So I leave that and I arrive to phi is equal to lambda by 2 pi into ln r. So this is the velocity potential. Then we will calculate the steam function. Right? So what is the equation for steam function for U or VR? 1 by R dou psi by dou x or dou theta is equal to VR. We know VR is equal to lambda by 2 pi r. Again, minus dou psi by dou r is equal to 0. So when you solve this equation, when you integrate, and finally you will arrive to a stream function, psi is equal to lambda by 2 pi into theta. Right? So by this way, we get the velocity potential and the stream function for the source. Right? So this is for source. Then what about for sink? It is in the opposite direction and hence it is negative. Right? So as usual, we can say that this equation satisfies the Laplace equation. So by that way, we can write del square phi is equal to 0. Similarly, del square psi is equal to 0. Right? So the source flow, again, the basic and the elementary flow in the aerodynamics. Now, this interesting discussion can lead further because we already know the uniform flow and now source flow and sink flow, right? Usually in the basic aerodynamics, we used to consider these combinations in order to arrive to a particular shape, right? This seems to be more theoretical, but we will arrive to some interesting results that we will see. So I will revisit it. This is a source flow where from the point O, the streamlines are emanating, and I said this is a streamline where you have a psi is equal to constant line and phi is equal to constant line, right here, and the VR makes an angle theta and R is in radial direction. If it is opposite, then it is sink. So this can be a incompressible flow and a rotational flow. And let us consider that there is a line source, not a point source. And this is a three-dimensional view. And we want to see what is the flow per unit area. And the area ds is defined as R into t theta into L. L is the depth of the cylinder. Then we have considered an elementary mass flow, that is rho a v, that a is r d theta into L. Then we have calculated the mass flow rate, then a volume flow per second, then volume flow per unit length, and we equated it as volume flow per unit length as the source strength, and we have calculated the source strength. After calculating the source strength, we have started working on calculating the velocity potential and the stream function. And at the final point, we have we arrived to a point that the Laplace equation, say del square phi and del square psi is equal to 0, right? So that means that your phi and psi satisfies the Laplace equation, right? So therefore, the source flow is a viable elementary flow, and we can build various complex flows and various complex shapes using this basic flow. Now, I will go to the first combination because we already know uniform flow, we know source flow, and we know sink flow. Right? So let us start with the combination. The combination is for a uniform flow and a source flow. Now assume that there is a uniform flow. you already know the uniform flow, the steam function is V infinity R sin theta. And similarly, the source is the lambda, right? Lambda by 2 pi into theta, right? So the steam function for source flow is lambda by 2 pi theta. So it's a combination. When we have a combination of these two, we will arrive to a shape which is a semi-infinite body, right? So please take this. You have a semi-infinite body shape A, B, and C, and there are streamlines passing through, and we have a solid line where the psi is equal to constant, right? That is gamma by 2, I mean lambda by 2. Right? So we will start with the discussion, right? The flow is from left to right, and we can write the steam function psi is equal to V infinity R sin theta plus lambda by 2 pi theta, right? So we know that this equation satisfies the Laplace equation, and hence it is irrotational incompressible, right? And the streamlines combine, right? The uniform flow and the source flow, right? So on the surface, we can write the psi is equal to, here on the surface, the psi is equal to constant, right? So we can write psi is equal to, here itself, right? It's equal to constant. Right? So here the source is located at a point D, right? This is the source flow, and because of the uniform flow, you can imagine this, right? There is a source flow, and when there is a uniform flow, what happens, right? So on the surface, we consider psi is equal to constant, and then we will proceed. And if we know psi, then we can calculate the velocity v. So the velocity field obtained like Vr is equal to 1 by r into dou psi by dou theta. So if you want to write this dou psi by dou theta, we can write V infinity because the r gets cancelled, and we can write cos theta plus lambda by 2 pi r. Similarly, V theta can be expressed as minus dou psi by dou r. That is, we can write this as minus V infinity sin theta. So we have Vr and V theta, right? So we already know the radial velocity from the source, right? The radial velocity from the source is lambda by 2 pi r, right? The same point, we have a free stream velocity in the radial direction. We have already derived V infinity cos theta, right? So we can write here at this point where your flow, the uniform flow will come and hit, and it stops here and then divert into the two portions, And at this point, if you say, this is an important point, which is called a stagnation point, right? So in the stagnation point, we have a velocity as 0. So we write here, we can write V infinity cos theta plus lambda by 2 pi r is equal to 0, right? V infinity cos theta plus lambda by 2 pi r equal to 0. And similarly, V infinity sin theta is equal to 0. Minus V infinity, but we can write V infinity sin theta is equal to 0. Now, I want you to solve this. So, solving for r and theta, we can find these stagnation points, right? Somebody can try to calculate what it is? V infinity cos theta plus lambda by 2 pi r equal to 0. So I want to calculate from these two equations r and theta. So please calculate r and theta. So please calculate what is.
So theta will be the n pi series.
Yeah. So theta can be pi, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is r?
Minus lambda by 2 pi V infinity cos theta.
Okay. So I write that it is lambda by 2 pi d infinity.
Cos theta.
Yeah. Why cos theta?
Oh, okay, sir. But the minus sign?
Yeah. We want to calculate r comma theta. The r comma theta, when you substitute here, it should satisfy 0. So, right. Okay. So try to do this anyway. So here for the stagnation point condition, we can write r comma theta is equal to 0. Right. So here we can say that the strength of the source, that is lambda, right? Strength of the source is lambda, and V infinity is the free stream velocity, right? And I said at B we have a stagnation point, right? So now we want to calculate this. Right? So now we can write the equation psi, that is V infinity at point B, we want to calculate. We know r comma theta, and hence I will write psi is equal to V infinity r sin theta plus lambda by 2 pi theta is equal to constant. Now I want to substitute this r theta. So what will happen? What is psi? If I substitute the value r, that is lambda by 2 pi V infinity, and theta is pi, what we will get?
Lambda sin theta by 2 pi.
Huh?
Lambda sin theta by 2 pi.
Why 2 pi? Okay, so in this case, we will get lambda by 2. That is equal to constant. Please work out and you will arrive to this particular function. Steam function is equal to lambda by 2. So this is for the streamline which is going through the stagnation point. So with all the discussions, right, and we know that we are dealing with the inviscid flow, right? So the velocity at the surface of the solid body is a tangent to the body, right? So here, if you consider this particular place where your psi is equal to constant, which is equal to lambda by 2, right? And let us consider this A, B, and C is a streamline, right? And it contains a stagnation point at the point B, right? So the point B is the point which divides this streamline, right? It is a kind of, it separates the fluid coming from the free stream and the fluid emanating from the source. Here is the source. The flow moves in this direction and you have a free stream velocity that is uniform stream, right? So now what will happen if I replace this particular streamline ABC with a solid body? It is possible to replace this ABC with a solid body and of same shape. And the external flow, say the external flow here, these streamlines may not feel the difference. That is the beauty of the theoretical aerodynamics, right? So if I want to calculate the characteristics of a body of such shape, theoretically I can use uniform flow and a source flow and create this particular body, right? Now I will ask you how to calculate, how to do that theoretically with a circular cylinder. If I want to create a circular cylinder, if I want to create a oval body, that we will discuss. So the superposition of these basic flows can lead to creating an aerodynamic shape, right? So now you have the source here. Now in the same case, if I add a sink, so if I have this is a uniform flow and I add this with a source flow. So when I add it with the source flow, I get the source flow. Here is a source flow, origin is D, the source flow will move like this, and it creates where the streamlines flows here, and this becomes an semi-infinite body. And what will happen if I include a sink? Sorry, the sink is in the other direction. So if I have a sink, this comes and closes, and this creates a closed body or a oval body. So here you have a streamline, steam function psi is equal to constant throughout, right? So this superposition of uniform flow, source flow, and a sink flow will form a oval shaped design called a Rankine oval. So I would like to show this picture. This is the Rankine oval, where you have a source kept at some location and the sink kept at some location, and you have a free stream or uniform flow. So this is a combination of uniform flow plus source flow plus sink flow, right? So let us consider a source flow and a sink flow kept at a distance of B from the origin. We consider O, right? And A and B are the points at the end of the oval, right? And let us say the steam function for the combined flow, the steam function for the combined flow at any point P that we are interested in, right? So how can we write the steam function psi? Anyone can say what is the steam function psi for this case? This case is uniform flow, source flow, and sink flow. Can someone say? Can anyone say the steam function equation? Vishaveni?
Yes, sir.
Can you say the equation for the steam function here? It is a combination of uniform flow, source flow, and sink flow. Anyone? You know already, I have considered the case where you have a uniform flow here, and for the uniform flow your steam function is V infinity r sine theta, and the source flow the steam function is lambda by 2 pi theta, and I have written the combination is V infinity r sine theta plus lambda by 2 pi theta. Now we have uniform flow, source flow, and sink flow, and we have arrived to a shape of oval, that is the Rankine oval. So now my question is how to write this steam function equation.
Sir, does the steam function of the sink is similar to the steam function of the source? That is the pi lambda by 2 pi theta?
No, correct. But what about uniform flow?
V infinity r sine theta?
Yeah, so this can be written as uniform flow, that is V infinity
r sine theta plus 2 times of lambda.
no, 2 times, right? Because one is source and another one is sink. So we will write the strength of the sink. I can write this as theta, because you have a theta 1 and here it is theta 2. Right? Okay, thank you. So we can write these stream functions psi that is equal to V infinity or sine theta plus lambda by 2 pi theta 1 minus theta 2. The same equation, right? Now I want to see how this oval is formed, and I am interested to calculate what is the distance between OA and OB. Right? So we know that the theta 1 and theta 2 in the equation, right? And again, R theta and B. B is the distance from the origin to the source and origin to the sink, right? And by considering the stagnation point, we have two stagnation points. One is here the V becomes 0, and here also the V becomes 0, right? So A and B are the stagnation points in the Rankine oval, right? So I want to calculate OA, OB, because OA is equal to OB, right? So I want you to calculate what is OA and OB. Please take down this and calculate OA and OB as a homework. And we will look into that in the next class. So please take this combination of uniform flow, source flow, and sink flow. It's very interesting discussion where if you see the theta, assume that the theta at this point is 0, and then you see this varies, this theta, this point if you move and it varies, and here it is pi. So the good point is that theta is equal to 0 and theta is equal to pi are these stagnation points. You have to think that whether this stagnation point is possible really. The two stagnation point is possible. You need to think about it. And I am interested to know what is the distance OA and OB. Both are equal. And I know at the stagnation point where the psi is equal to 0, right? So V infinity or sine theta plus lambda by 2 pi theta 1 minus theta 2 is equal to 0, right? Here it is along the surface, here. So I am interested in calculating OA and OB. So please calculate using your basic mathematics and come back result tomorrow, right? Come back with the answer in the next class, right? So we will further discuss. Thank you very much. I stop at this point, and if there is some question, we can discuss, right?